Daily shoulder showdown's hilarious. After practice, all gather at the fountain. Danny pants after. To cool off, the kids douse their shoes with water. Wyatt notices that most of them don't even have running shoes. Torn shoes are the sole battle boots. They back this new team for the Oxix 1987 Palo Alto Invitational. To motivate his team, Wyatt paid for uniforms and bought 7 new running shoes. The subtitles show the team members are overjoyed to receive their shoes, but when they put on the gear and see other competitors well equipped, they feel a bit disheartened. Times L, 2 finishers earn 2 points. Scoring relies on teamwork. The white team sums their 5 scores despite finishing. The lowest scoring team wins. After learning the rules, players stand at the start line, awaiting the gunshot, only to face rivals' taunts. After the race starts, Thomas' sprint is blocked by 2 foes. He shoves them aside in frustration. But the results are not so rosy. The McFarland team lands in last place, leaving the kids a bit glum. Wyatt fesses up, admitting he didn't scout the course ahead of time and missed checking out the mountainous route. McFarland is all flat, no hills to climb, so the runners couldn't adapt quickly enough, falling behind the competition. Wyatt realized had shown emotions, using the team as a career springboard. After mutual comforting, they urged him to focus more on family and assigned Wyatt the task of promoting his daughter, which he gladly accepted. The next day, Wyatt takes his team to the Almond River Mound by the small hill, instructing them to simulate the hilly course for training. When the team's exhausted, Thomas won't stop. Wyatt tries to stop his self-torture, driving him to break down. 1,000 times, believe me, this won't change. Leaving the team like Thomas did might just be a mistake. Wyatt wanted to call off the race, heavy with guilt, but suddenly remembers he forgot to get his daughter's name. He missed her birthday celebration. Wyatt can only apologize to his daughter, but fails to gain her forgiveness. Feeling low, he goes out and spots Thomas in the corner. As he nears, Wyatt sees Thomas frowning, asks nervously what happened. Thomas sadly reveals. Subtitles, he has a wound on his face from his father but bears no grudge. His father, away for years, returned home to learn his daughter was pregnant. He's livid and ready to lose it. Thomas wants to escape this hopeless life, so he shares his feelings with Wyatt. Wyatt quickly tells Thomas how he was shut out by his daughter for not getting her name, but doesn't exactly soothe him. They are on incredibly different levels. One is fretting over survival, the other just worrying about living. So, Wyatt envisions the worst for Thomas. Changin's limited height offers good survival odds after a jump. Subtitles, he might face losing his legs. Thomas, not wanting to burden his family, rejoins the cross-country team. This move reignites hope in Wyatt. After a month of training, the team faces off against the crew at height. Now the team is fully trained, quickly adapting to the track for this competitive showdown, entering the final sprint phase. Thomas spots the competitors ahead, racing to achieve 6:31 for first place. Everyone is thrilled. McFarland wins by a mere point, truly boosting Wyatt's confidence to keep the training going. During a practice, Danny and his 2 brothers quit, though Dad wants them to collect debts. Wyatt decides to visit the brothers' dad, but the man clearly rejects his request for the boys to keep running. Wyatt leaves quietly, but shows up early the next day at the brothers' doorstep. He follows the family to collect debts, learning pays by clear plots, not irely. As he works hard, Wyatt starts feeling immense discomfort in his back and can barely handle it. Luckily, someone noticed and gave him a needed massage appropriately. It brings a bit of relief. Seeing Wyatt's persistence, the brother's mom steps up and pours him a glass of water to quench his thirst. A light bulb flashes in Wyatt's mind. If the 3 brothers finish work later, they can push back practice too. Before the competition, they just clock in early. Wyatt helps Ward to spare time. Wyatt's efforts soon paid off. He awoke to see the brothers' mom with the crowd hosting a feast for team funds. In upcoming activities, the team joins a car wash crew to help raise funds for the squad. Wyatt comes to realize that on the very first day of his arrival in McFarland, what he encountered were not mere troublemakers, but rather young talents brimming with potential. Mr. Ming takes the time to read Wyatt an article he wrote about the race, feeling genuinely enthusiastic. He's incredibly grateful for the change Wyatt has brought to McFarland. Wyatt's mindset changes. Besides daily runs, he finds time to aid kids' study, urging them toward college. Thomas excitedly shares this with his dad, but the old man wants to put a stop to his education instead. All because Dad thinks farm workers don't need much knowledge. Reading is just bad for your eyes. But Thomas has his own thoughts. Under Wyatt's lead, the team heads to the preliminary qualifiers. Wyatt expects the team to finish 4th to reach the finals in the NOV 26, 1987 State qualifies. White finally gets his due, receiving a big city's olive branch just as the race nears its end. But when Dennis trips during the sprint, he immediately falls behind, desperately chasing after, but missing the top 3 spots. As final scores are tallied, McFarland places 4th, advancing to the state finals. On the way home, the kids suddenly find everything's packed, luggage handled, and White's unbothered. He's prepared. To satisfy the kids' dream of seeing the ocean, White pulls out his last $5. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.